joining me in the studio. It's Minuet. What's up? Thank you for being here and spending your precious energy. If you're new, consider subscribing or don't, whatever suits your fancy. This episode today is going to be a resource guide for new parents, particularly parents in the BIPOC community, but there are also resources here that are for everyone. Some of these resources I used and some of them I haven't, so I can't speak to them all, but I'm just really grateful that I was able to get these resources, and I want to be able to share it with other people who may need them as well. So the first one is Birthing While Black. Birthing While Black is actually a free course that's offered online, and anyone can take it pretty much, but it is for colored people. And it's offered with ancestral midwifery, and they have so much information, and it's just a really great breakdown of before, prenatal, postnatal, and postpartum. So it really gives an accurate breakdown as to how to nurture ourselves and nourish ourselves during pregnancy, during the birth, and afterwards. So I will put a link in the description to the Ancestral Midwifery YouTube channel as well as their website. Next is MenoCare. MenoCare, I could talk about MenoCare for days. I'm gonna do a whole YouTube episode just for MenoCare. But MenoCare is a non-for-profit organization that focuses on helping to give resources to families in the Black community, resources and information to increase awareness on the resources that are accessible, things that people may not know about, and offering accessibility to programs at no charge. So whether it's a doula, dental hygienist, she's a traveling dental hygienist. So she actually comes to your area if you live in Toronto or like the GTA. Camille, she's such a beautiful soul as well. And I just met so many really great people through MenoCare, and I'm just really excited about them. So if you are in the BIPOC community and anybody who could benefit from these resources, please definitely reach out to them. They also offer virtual services for, what is it called? What is it called? Pelvic floor therapy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so pelvic floor therapy is extremely helpful for me. To make sure that I was able to not necessarily bounce back right away, but I was able to stay active and do workouts during my pregnancy to be able to have a easier or a more effective birth experience and a easier time during my recovery afterwards. So I did an additional postpartum appointment at around 4 months with my pelvic floor therapist, but initially I did every couple of weeks leading up to the pregnancy, and then I had one last appointment with her at 6 weeks, and that was all covered through MenoCare. So MenoCare, like I said, I'm gonna do a whole video on them because I just talk about them for days, and I really hope to be able to do an interview with somebody that works there. But they even have a lady that works at Mount Sinai who is their infant specialist. Met with me and my partner before we had the baby, and she gave us like a whole detailed list of like everything. He reassured us on so many different things. My partner and I both don't have like our mothers in the picture to be able to give us that extra support. It was really nice to have somebody that was able to kind of through the hormones and talk us through, it's just a roller coaster. So yeah, really nice to be able to get that additional extra support. So MenoCare. Okay, the last one for me that I used before I talk about the other ones is called the New Mom Project, and it's people are able to go on and either be a donor where you offer things that other mothers could use or new parents could use, or you can go on there and be a recipient where you can post where you're in search of like diaper, crib, or baby items or mom items. I remember I was looking for a breast pump because my breast pump had died, and I was looking for a breast pump, and somebody gifted me a breast pump. So there's just so many different things on there. You live in a time that like is more than $2,000 a month. And when you go on maternity leave, or if something happens to your back, or you work for whatever reason, that's what happened to me right before I had the baby. My hours were completely limited. So when I went on to EI, my EI was basically next to nothing. And I ended up having to, my partner ended up having to support us during my mat leave. So I had to find all these different ways to be able to help support us during that time while I wasn't able to work and nurturing a small human. So hopefully you guys get some value from this video. And if you do, please share it with another mom or another new parent. Other one that I really want to talk about is the Toronto Birth Center. I really wanted to have my baby there, but it was really far away from where I was. But now in hindsight, back on it, we probably could have made it there. Toronto Birth Center. It just looks like such a beautiful place to give birth, and there are just such great people that work down there, and they're so excited about natural births and making sure it's a comfortable and safe environment for mom, baby, and the support team. So unfortunately, my midwifery team wasn't able to give birth or to help me birth my baby down there. So I would have had to find a new midwife, and a lack of transportation just made it really difficult for like back and forth. But I do know that the Toronto Birth Center is a really great place to give birth, and I've been following them closely on IG and just reading about just different practices that they have down there, which is just really, it's a really great team. And from my understanding, I believe they're also hiring somebody right now for a couple different roles. So if that's something that you are interested in, definitely check it out. So the other ones that I have here, I'm just gonna read them off and you guys can go and do your own research on them. So I'll probably scan these papers and then leave a link to them in the description for you guys as well, so that way you have reference. So Indigenous Healthy Babies is another one. They help to support families and their children from prenatal to age 6 with emotional, physical, and mental health and social issues to ensure effective, consistent early intervention services, home visiting, service coordination, parental groups, cultural teachings, and traditional referrals. Cultural teachings, traditions, and referrals. So what's AHBC? The website is AHBHC at. Oh no, this is an email. So you can connect with ahbhc at nwrct.ca for Indigenous Healthy Babies. So Beeja May is very much like Poshmark. So those are the two, Poshmark, Beeja May. And then Jesse's Place is for counseling, case management, parenting, support groups, health services, housing support. These things are obviously very necessary. There's a lot of moms that are leaving domestic abuse or in really unfortunate situations that really need these supports. So Mom Project, as I mentioned before, Moorland Kids, they give baby bundles, providing new mothers that are below the poverty line with welcome gifts for their babies. Massey Center, which is client-centered infant and early learning mental health organizations, which supports pregnant and parenting adolescents aged 13 to 25 and their babies. So that's for people that are aged 13 to 25, so young mothers and their families. Sinai Health, the perinatal mental health program. So this is obviously for Mount Sinai, and their information is on their website for this program. Toronto Birth Center, which we already talked about. Early Parenting Group in the Black Creek Community Health Center. So there's a phone number 416-246-2388, extension 3292. and information is on their website, bcchc.com. And Planned Parenthood, which most of us are familiar with Planned Parenthood Toronto. But if you are in need of those services, please don't feel ashamed or embarrassed. You know, a lot of mothers who have had to have abortions, and while it is very sad and a very unfortunate situation, you have to do what's best for ourselves first and for the good of our children. You know, a lot of women have been there, so please don't feel ashamed. It's a wellness group for South Asian, it's called South Asian Women's Center. And the phone number for this one is 416-532-2276, extension 228. And they have groups that speak in different languages for families that are from the South Asian community. So this one is really a great resource for anybody in that community. Healthy Babies Toronto. This one, Healthy Babies, Healthy Children. So they actually do home visits. I never actually use them, and I know a lot of moms who also kind of same way, just like really awkward about having a healthcare professional like us when we're with our children. I do know a lot of people that actually did use this resource and are still utilizing this resource and have only good things to say about it. So it's something that you are a little worried about. Maybe you can try to not do home visits if that's an option. Definitely get as much support as you can. The earlier, the better. You know, it's not too late if your child is 1. You know, you can still get the resources that you are looking for, okay? Next one is Postpartum Mood Disorders Program. Highly recommend these programs. I'm in a program with North York General. You can also Google this one. It's North York General's postpartum group, and we meet every Wednesday on Teams, and all of us moms get to like check in. We get to keep in touch throughout the week through a WhatsApp group, and we get to ask questions and like talk about things that are going on and the struggles that we're facing, and just get ideas from each other on how to cope during this new time. So it's really great. So this one's called Postpartum Mood Disorders Program. The phone number is 416-537-8222. Last two, this one is Breastfeeding Clinics and Resources, Toronto Public Health. This one is so good. I saw 4 lactation consultants, one at the hospital, one through my midwifery, one through this, the Breastfeeding Clinics and Resources, and then I can't remember where the other one came from, but I saw 4. So just make sure the baby's latching properly, eating properly, all of that stuff. It ties in to our mental health, it ties into our breast pain. So I cannot stress this one enough. This is a really great resource. I really recommend this one. So Breastfeeding Clinics and Resources is with Toronto Public Health. And then the last one is Family OB Group at Women's College. Women can self-refer. They're a group of family physicians and special interest training and expertise in low-risk pregnancy and birth. They deliver 300 babies per year, and so they work closely with families at postpartum to help ensure that the ongoing health care of babies and family is supported. So if you are in the women's college area, or you know where it is and you're familiar with it and you're comfortable getting down there, because I know travel is really difficult when you're pregnant. Not so much in the beginning, but more so as you get closer to the date. So that's all I really have for you guys. I'm praying for your healthy babies, and I'm praying for you to get lots of sleep and lots of rest and get the support that you need. Doulas, while they can be expensive, if you can afford it, or you can get your friends and family to donate a doula to you, I highly recommend it, because having the support not only before baby comes, but also at the birth is just extremely helpful, as well as afterwards. They do light household duties. They'll help out with the baby while you and your partner get a chance to take a nap. Just doulas are like all the rage. And honestly, I love doulas so much that I am going to start training to become a doula, because as a photographer, I just think that being able to do birth photography would just be so amazing. I just love babies and births so much that I want to be able to work with moms and be able to help them capture their story. And not only that, but also be there to help motivate them and support them in their postpartum journey. And so yeah, if you know anybody that can really benefit from this video, please share it with them. It's such an amazing journey, but it can be very daunting and very scary to go through it alone or go through it as a new mom. There's a YouTube channel I watched in the beginning when I was pregnant. It's called Diana in the Pink. And she goes through every single week, the different stages. Some of it's a little repetitive, but I learned so much from Diana in the Pink. Check out that YouTube channel as well. And moms, I'm here to support you in your journey. Leave a comment, let me know where you're at. Let me know what your struggles are, what you're going through, and talk about the good things too. What's working, what's going well in your pregnancy? What are you excited about when to become a new mom? I want to hear about it all. So thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming back again for another episode. I appreciate you. Sending you all hugs and tons of love and light. And I just pray that everything works out for you and your families. And thank you so much for supporting this channel. This is our corner of the internet. It's not mine. This is our corner of the internet. Peace out.